Which way is this one going to go? It's a very difficult one to figure out. We're going to have to let the play talk for us as Avangar and forZe look neck and neck at this point. Both teams winning each other's map. Map 1 was Mirage, and that was handily won by forZe, and then Avangar got the better of them on their pick, Inferno. That brings us to Train as the decider, and again, who the hell knows? Do you know, James? I don't know.
Nobody knows which way it goes. I don't know, or maybe it's happening now, but Train, I don't know what to expect at this point, although I will say I expect plenty of frags for... You know, I do wonder if maybe forZe have an edge here, because obviously Train is AWP City, and I think the AWPs could dominate. I think if forZe start on the CT side, I would favour them to win straight off the bat. I think that a lot of this is going to come down to the knife round. I think if forZe win a knife round, they win. But Malik wow. is about to lose a knife round. He lost a knife round. Never mind. Never mind. Now I think it's 50-50. I just think like both Almeza and Exipower were AWPing really well. James hasn't really been doing that this series or this entire week, and Train, I think that could dominate if they like, let's say, win their first buy round. I think that could be enough to take them through the half, but we'll have to wait and see, because the Avangar are going to start on the CT side. They want to connive, and they will be starting on the CT side. So Kika will be the smoke diffuse man. We've got two P250s, double raidable.
So down alley they go. A darkened alley. And on the other side, the police. The police are going to be having an issue. They need reinforcements. We do see now that forZe decide to slow things down after that pick. They don't sort of burst with it. They just are letting Avangar sit in their despair, letting them sweat. Wow, they are really waiting a while here. Just regrouping back towards team main, looking to go for a burst onto the A site. Double-pronged attack. We've got smoke for the bomb train. And it's going to be pretty hard, I think, for Avangar to stop them from getting the bomb down. They have the 5v4. They got a couple flashes with cover of smoke. This is a great setup for forZe, and they should be able to guarantee the bomb plant as the worst outcome.
Nothing is guaranteed. That bomb needs to make it to the site itself. The bomb is making it to the site. Maybe they will get the plant after all. Kika, has he got the bullets for this? He's got to deal with Malik first. He'll do that. Got a teammate in tow, and the bomb is going to get planted. 3 versus 3 retake. All 3 CTs around the site. Kika still has a smoke grenade, but will it be too hard to go for a ninja defuse?
Just waiting it out. CT's yet to tap the bomb. Yeah, you want to get that smoke down as fast as possible, because then the T's have to start peeking. Fear of the defuse in the smoke, and FaZe Crack will be against 3. Fear of the knife in the smoke. The man in the shadows. Ooh, in with a knife, out with a Glock.
Oh my days.
And that's the trio of kills. forZe, that was a great round. They got the pick. They let the CTs run around, just wondering what the hell's going on. They set up a set piece onto this A site. They guarantee the plant, and then they take up post-plant positions. That's a great pistol.
Pap, pap, pap. That was quite the clutch, man. That was quite the clutch. That's got to be really annoying for Avangar. So many frags in quick succession. 4 CZs and a Desert Eagle. James has, I think, left money in the bank.
In the bank.
In the bank. Kika takes one in the face.
In the face.
Big investment in the rifles here from forZe. They've gone for rifles over utility, over Molotovs and such. So far, so good. Buster's flanking, and Almeza could get picked off here. He's only got a UMP to lose, though. He is expendable. His life is worth less than the rest.
He's been expended. Oh. Okay, this is getting a little bit scary. 6 bullets. He's only good for so much, but he's done a good amount of damage. Crizzen very well could get 2 kills here. He himself has a CZ with 12 of 9 bullets, so he's got some good killing potential. But you can see the forZe, their spidey senses tingling.
How do they close out this round now? They've got no grenades.
It's fine, James. Everything's fine. It's fine. Calm down. They've got this Move together. Got good weapons. Look at that peak. There you go. There you go. Never need to doubt. Never need to doubt. Crizzen now is in a bit of a weird spot. He can surprise them as they try to plant. Depends which side they plant the bomb, of course. Will it be the Ivy side? Because that will allow him to get some cheeky shots. There's no cover. Yes, Crizzen has an opportunity here. Hello. Picks up an AK, swaps out for it. Now there's a chance. He's got the Kevlar as well to work with. And they don't know where he's disappeared to. Although he's going to leave himself completely exposed to the rear. And Malik is in there with the gear. So 2-0 forZe are able to beat the forSpy. They're able to defeat what can often be a very difficult round to deal with, especially on train, especially if you want to go A. Those CZs are so good around those, well, the numerous trains on the A yard.
Taser's out again. Where will Kikut play with his taser? He's over towards the bomb site. That's where. XC Power playing long range. Teammate popping out. 4 supports. It's that song, Little Help from Your Friends. Nice taps there. Now Kikut is alone with his taser. What gimmick will he have to offer this forZe team? James has 3,000 in the bank. He'll be buying the AWP.
Yes,
being spotted, but do they realize, oh, face crack baiting him for the peak?
I guess the problem there was that he gave the game away and showed the taser when he was running around. So then it's like, well, now I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me to come around the corner. I will not. I will not.
I refuse to lose.
3-0 indeed is a nice start for forZe. They have now to play against the AWP on Jame. Hyphen. What will Jame Hyphen get?
The hyphen is silent, Dan.
Silent Hyphen, of course. Of course. Oh, that's a really cool boost. Wow, oh my god. That is fantastic. You don't often see that one. Crizzen now on the bomb train with a lot of pressure on him to try to hold to this position. And the Grays are starting to settle in, but he's still able to fall back to old bomb, and he's doing a good job holding, but the bomb will be planted, and it is a 4v4 for forZe to play out this post-plant.
3 of the Avangar players coming from the back of the A site. The Ts will surely expect one person to be in connect, and Kikut will take up that role now. And perhaps he can run distraction. Crizzen still in a similar position. 2-man spray down. XC Power, excuse me. Putting in work, getting straight. Oh, okay, Kikut, that's a very important second kill, but they don't have any defuse kits. And as you can hear, that bomb is very ticked, so it is time to escape Avangar. No rounds on the board just yet. Not quite finding the success of the previous map. forZe are keeping Avangar honest.
And this is a really cool spot for forZe because, or at least for me, it's really fun to see what round are they going to choose to run now that they have Avangar sort of on the back foot, and with 2 weapons saved, including an AWP, Avangar likely forSpy this around this. And indeed, that's going to be the case. Although they've opted not to go for UMPs, everyone's getting M4s, and so that's going to cripple their ability to have any utility. And that might be a bit of a misstep, although Buster, okay, Buster's going to get UMP, but... And they're doing okay-ish on utility. It's really not that great, honestly. Nothing for Crizzen whatsoever. And you can see that they're taking the tactical here. It's not an ideal situation. It's very important that they're able to win this because of forSpying. Okay, sure, they'll have max loss bonus, but they will be saving after this round if they lose it. So this is a good spot to take control of the game. But how do you do it with such limited counter utility? There's an initial couple grenades tossed out by Avangar.
Hello.
Jame without the pick. And they, after the first 10 seconds, they're left with 3 flashbangs. And that's it.
forZe don't have fantastic positions just yet. Kikut with a passive angle up top. You better deliver though if there is an engagement there. Otherwise he'd gon' die. He gon' die. I tried to say die and dead at the same time. And it became a non-word. 1 minute mark. forZe slowly heading towards one of these two bomb sites. Avangar looking to move into more aggressive positions on the A side. Krisen is getting closer and closer to the pop dog position. But here comes the charge. Only 2 CTs, and now there's one. Kika not moving a muscle. Almost frozen in time.
Kika gets one. Flashbang out to commit the next one. Ooh, Almeza, his teammates were they double backed, both of them, away from the bomb site. Perhaps assuming that the site was taken fully already, and yeah, that's put them in an awkward spot because this is very doable now for Buster. It's a huge amount of delay on the bomb plant, and that obviously helps Buster a lot because it gives him way more time to figure this situation out. And not only that, he's also got no kit, so having an extra time helps so much. Okay, it's a side plant.
It's an interesting time to stop looking at the cross to the bomb site with 13 seconds remaining. But the bomb will go down. AWP versus AWP. Buster has no smoke. FaceCrack has a Molotov, but he's moved into the low area, walking through sidewalk. Buster giving the sound cue away. The stray from FaceCrack maybe saves him. Shoots Buster straight in the dome, and that's 5-0 forZe. Avangar now at maximum loss bonus. And James has bought the AWP.
Okay.
But the rest of...
I don't know about that.
This?
Yeah, I don't like this.
What is the meaning of this, Dan?
Yeah, because if you look at the previous round too, they got into such a poor spot just because they had zero utility as well, and it just makes life a lot tougher to do much of anything.
It's a 2-man force buy when they could all buy together in the next round.
Yeah, and buy and not just buy together, but have like everything. They'll all have $6K, more than that actually, with a full save, but.
These tactics are beyond me.
Yeah, it's not good economic management. That's absolutely for sure. The thing about it, or one way I like to put it, is you have to do you respect your own buys or do you not? Because you have to. If you're a well-versed Counter-Strike team, you should have a very good your best chance to win a round should be when you have everything, and that should also be when you're most comfortable. And this early on in the game, it's not like you're forced to make this decision. You know, you're not playing against an incredibly big scoreline. They're not a match point or something like that. You can take your time still.
I suppose they are. I mean, look at the lack of utility. X has to drop for Y. A has to drop for B. They've gone for double AWPs after force buying 2 rifles. They have 1 Molotov. If a push comes, I don't know.
It's just sort of an inconsistent way to play the game. If you can play maximum utility versus not, the team who has good utility usage and has more are going to have way more edges against you. Like if they run a set piece onto the A site, like Avangar will not have the counter grenades necessary if forZe do this late in the round to do much against it.
How can we handicap ourselves in the full buy round? I know.
Yeah.
2 of us will force buy. Chunks.
Oh my god.
More chunks.
Krisen got absolutely, yeah, he's missing a lot of pieces, isn't he, now at this point? His arm's off, his leg's off. Tis but a flesh wound.
Now let's see how... There are still 4 players in A for Avangar. Curious to see how they will react to that smoke on Ivy. Krisen moves into the heaven position, but the bomb and Xe are towards B on the high ground. And Xe's already scoped in, so if he hasn't been heard, he could take someone by surprise. However, with such little... Okay, this is interesting. I was going to say maybe the CTs would start to rotate, but FaceCrack has walked up Ivy for free. Although surely Kika hears the footsteps now. Can he be good for the second frag? I think Malik was on the ladder and still gets the kill. Buster at the back, but the bomb will get planted.
Indeed. And it is a 3v4 here, so Avangar have a good chance at this one. Pushing forwards, Demo able to take down the Lurker. But the CTs are spread very thin on this retake initially. That said, James with a very nice shot there, and Exit Power moving into the position. It means that Avangar are going to be able to take the round, so does not work out for forZe in the end. Despite having no utility for half of the rounds, Avangar are still able to hit the shots to do the damage to make it work. However, forZe have a very good economy behind this, so they will be throwing the pressure straight back at Avangar. Exit power straight back onto the AWP, and with the round victory here, we're going to see more utility for Avangar. Yes, indeedy. At least Jame and Demasic and Krisen now. Everyone's loading up. That's good to see. It's only Key Kurt who's unable to. And that's unfortunate for him. But everyone else is fully kitted. I was really wanting to see from forZe in that previous round, them finishing on a set piece on A. That was what I was really wanting to see, but no. Okay, are we missing some games now? Oh no, right, because I can see a different one, like a different screen. Right, so 6-1 forZe. They've conceded a round, but are they able to crush Avangar and reset their loss bonus completely? Obviously, they won a round, so they don't have a loss bonus now.
If forZe wipe out this Avangar this round, I'm calling 10-1.
Yeah, okay.
I'm calling 10-1. Avangar with a fortress on the A bomb site, trying to build a human pyramid almost. Missing the motorcycles.
Ooh. Just a dry peek.
Yeah, well, I guess he saw some things. Playing through the smoke though. Kika, is he good for it? He sees the bomb. There are two more plays. He hears one. He goes wide face crack. Meanwhile, there are trades elsewhere. Players being lost around the A mainnet position. Jerry from the pop dog trying to pick off Dima, but Dima holds things down, leaving face crack alone with the bomb. They know he was back trains, trying to plant it back trains of, well, the other back train. Two back train calls. Coming through from the old bomb position. Jame will join his teammate Dima. Do they face at the same time? Or does one pop out and then the other one faces afterwards? Did he see him there? Surely he saw something. But how does he defend the bomb? He's moving all the way back. Heading towards Ivy perhaps. Much utility. All kinds of spam from Avangar trying to clear the site. There's a smoke on the bomb itself. Dima looking towards Ivy. Now, no, he's spraying through. But he didn't go far enough back for face crack to get the kill. That's unfortunate for forZe. And Avangar just about get the defuse.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Very winnable round there for forZe. Avangar stealing it away, and now they've given themselves a pretty solid opportunity to get back in the game. You'll be denied your 10-1, James. You will be denied your 10-1.
Perhaps I will.
So just enough money to get the equipment out here for forZe in this round. They played a lot of slow rounds, might see a faster one now. Just the mix-up of pace can often be effective. It would be cool. I mean, I have to say, Ethan around that pop dog position was so scary. If anyone plays that position, anyone listening, you should go check out Ethan's demos. How aggressive he plays the pop dog position as a CT. It's pretty impressive how consistent he was. Oh, hello. They're just going to drop into Krisen. And there it is. That's the round. I think that's the round, James.
That may just be.
It's going to be tough, isn't it? Almeza, he's going to make an argument here for forZe. He's actually got the entry into the outer bomb site, but you can see the CTs. They've got so many players here. They can easily track his movement, I would say. And Buster does shut him down. Oh, fourth one for Krisen. Just a little graveyard there.
It's pretty good. No plant for forZe, and now there's opportunity for Avangar to catch up to the score. 3 rounds behind at the moment, but money's not great for forZe. They will invest. I'm looking for grenades. 1 flashbang. No smokes. This is train. So I do wonder what they can expect to get out of this forZe. Will it be pure numbers game? They've spent a lot on pistols. Around $4,000. Including the Kevlar and 3 players. And here we go, the numbers game. The Molotov for Kika, the smoke instead of a Molotov. And that will be a 2-man spray down of the 5 men of forZe. No Molotov needed, they do it cheaply. Back on the buy are forZe. Exi Power on the AWP. We'll see what the rest of the team have. But now we see slightly more grenades. So I guess with the smoke down, they simply can't really see as they emerge, and that has its own benefits as well. So we see the initial grenades being deployed into the A site, but nobody jumping through main. Looking for counter grenades perhaps. A boost of the sniper maybe. So many places CT can peek from this position, on top of the train, above the red train, from camera as well, or back trains, which is where he's looking right now. Lots of different targets for FACEIT to consider. CT's almost looking for one of them. In the meantime, James has made a play through Ivy, but not looking all the way down towards main.
Will he decide to eventually? Or will he retract? Ooh, he's going to extend. And he will be rewarded. He can back away. So that's a beautiful pick to get. And here is the potential response. Extra power. Moving forwards. Oh, it's straight into Buster. Buster ready for it. Now the molly into Pop Dog. Avangar shutting this down completely, systematically, one by one. Eliminating the options for forZe. And once again, Crizm back at it with the AK. And they are all dead, basically. There's just one more face to be cracked. And that'll be that. 5 rounds now for Avangar. They are tying things up, or close to doing so. forZe are losing grip. They're losing grip of their T side.
It is a long road to the major. No shortcuts. Got to keep your focus. That applies to both of these teams. 3,500 per person for forZe, so they may have to concede a tied scoreline shortly. But they'll do their best. They've got 4 smoke grenades picked up. And they've taken a tactical timeout, which is about to elapse. 2 Molotovs, a lot of flashbangs. They're at max loss bonus, as you can see in the bottom right of your screen. Well, not your screen yet, but when the game comes back, you'll see it.
But our screens.
There we go.
Because we are in the command center, James.
Yes, we have 3 game screens here, and then the program which you see as well.
And then some
We're
more
in the
screens.
Matrix. We are in the Matrix.
Yes. Oh, fast round to 8. forZe will get those CZs in with the Molotovs and pray for the best. That is an important miss. Oh my god, another one. That's going to give opportunity to forZe, but the counter grenades, the spray through the smoke is doing lots of damage. Flashbangs as well, looking fairly successful. And the bomb actually goes down. They actually stay alive with 5 players as they get the bomb down. That's impressive. And the Avangar let the grenade settle before they decide to put the pressure back on. As we can see now, Crizm looking in, getting information. Dima moving around the trains from the held position. And slowly but surely, Avangar will suffocate forZe. They will constrict them until all the air has been squeezed out and there's no life left.
Is he going to peek at all? Late peek. I like that. Rather than trying to defend the bomb plant, where there'd be more focus on his position, he waits until afterwards. Maybe he's saving a weapon. People drop their guard, gets a kill. Nice play by him. forZe now have lost 6 rounds in a row to this CT side, in 3 of which they've planted the bomb, although I don't know how much that counts in the eco. 4 sniper rifles on the server. This may be a slow round for forZe unless they get an early... Oh, okay, they just got to charge out through the smoke. Never mind.
Yeah, receiving a lot of damage to the initial Molotovs, but they have gained position. They have traded out a little bit, and okay, maybe not enough. Good response coming in from Avangar. forZe are not able to get enough damage in here so far to give this a proper go, and they will all be eliminated. So 7 rounds for Avangar now. They have taken the lead. You have taken the lead.
Will 6 rounds be enough for forZe? They will fight for more. Curious to see what their snipers will do on the CT side. James 5 for 6 at the moment. Everybody else on a good average of around 10. Pop flash towards B in case anybody's holding the angle, and Kiket will drop the smoke once more. He has a incendiary grenade in the hole. And with the presence heard, Jame will make his way towards Connector to perhaps hold the high ground. Dima's there as well. So 3 in the B bomb site, awaiting a play from forZe.
Here the movement of trains and the tracks in the distance, and now the push will be initiated. Good start here for Keycurt, a double. He waits still. Oh, he's going for those wide peaks. He's hungry for it, looking to take down everyone. Just one player left, Almeza. He will be finished off as well. So despite the strong start from forZe, you can see how drastically this has swung around. Now it's Avangar sort of making them look like, well, a lesser opponent.
I can imagine forZe are just praying for half-time at this point. And they're not far away as we move into the last round of the first half. 8 rounds in a row from Avangar. They've been waiting for the last map to really rise from the flames and leave forZe in the fire. Almeza is very deep in the A bomb site. Surely he's been heard, looking for a two-man spray down so close to it. And that might spur on the players in Ivy. 3 of them jumping past the angle, but Bust will hit the second player. He will be traded, and that's an important weapon. But he's seen the bomb. Jame rotating now to CT spawn prison on the side, but XP coming in from the back.
This is going to be really tough for Jame. Going to be trying to give it a go though. The orb from Old Bomb. And, ooh, that's a very important one. Had he missed that, there's really no chance. He's going to reposition to Connector. The T's can just wait in their spots. Jame has to be very cautious here. That one of the things that is tough on this bomb site is the T's can hide forever. Ooh, okay. Jerry will be in the open. Jame's repositioning has worked out. Now he just has to hit one last clutch shot, and Malik's just standing on top of the green train, fully exposed and ready to deliver death from above, and he'll do so. 7 rounds for forZe. They'll get one in the ends, but otherwise the Vanguard will feel comfortable with the 8 that they managed to get after a very rough start.
Talk about momentum. You do wonder if that worries forZe. Yes, they won the last round, but just the one round. One round of in the last 9, really. And that's not how you want to move into the second half, but it can all be forgotten. Much to play for in this pistol. They want to get off to a good start, just as well. They won the pistol in the first half, didn't they, forZe?
Yes, they won a bunch of rounds.
They did, yeah. So never mind.
So it's Avangar's turn. Avangar.
Of anger.
Avangar. Saint Anger.
It's your favourite album, isn't it?
Oh god, that's when Metallica died to me.
Face crack with a smoke grenade and a defuse kit. He is around the connector position. He is Mr. Rotator. He is the hands of a clock. Almeza in the B-bomb site as well. One minute mark. Buster moving towards Ivy. Vandalism around the pop dog. The panes of glass will be replaced with perspex because we're cheap. The smoke down. Trying to sell a fake towards B, but there's no rotation from these CTs.
Yeah, they are just chilling out, but Keycurt opens things up really nicely. Important response from Exit Power as he executes to Buster. Demasic will be fighting it out. Really nice sandwich here onto Face Crack, and he will go down. Avangar win their pistol, and that's important. And that's what you want to see, a pistol going to either team. It's all square. And the MAC-10 will go to Demasic immediately, and forZe will, I'm sure, force buy. Avangar, they better have a good anti-force buy for train or 2. See what they go with. Let's see what they go with.
Exipal has been gifted a scout by a kind Samaritan.
Ooh.
So he's keeping his money for the AWP. Exit power, Brexit power.
Wow. Ooh, that's very nice. Goodbye, Buster. He's been nailed to the wall. He's been staked.
Painkiller. Almeza will remain alone on the B-bomb site, slowly drifting away. Blockerino from his teammate. Footsteps heard, and that will encourage FaceCrack to make his way over towards that B-bomb site. 1 minute mark. Avangar have a lot of grenades, and it seems they will concentrate their juice and pour into the A sites.
Once again, the calming sound of trains on the tracks in the distance. 35 seconds. FACEIT waits with that scout. Oh, that's a great start for forZe. Can he deliver anything else? Jerry from Pop Dog. The problem for Avangar is they don't have much time, and there's 5 players to kill, and they've got to plant a bomb, and there's nowhere safe to plant it. 15 seconds. The CTs are keeping it very chill still, and that's a good way to handle this because, again, 10 seconds to plant the bomb. It's still not safe. 2 more CTs, and they'll find a plant. I don't believe it. Can they hold on to this? Almeza in a 1v1. 1 bullet to kill James. But where the hell has he gone? James, he's not going all the way around. He's just deep in connector. Almeza on the hunt. There is no kit. That's something to bear in mind here. Oh my god, that is scary. He's got to jump onto the bomb now. And such an impossible situation. Ooh, threatening it. And that's it. He's done enough as James, I think. Oh, even finishes with a headshot. How did they win that one, James? They were 2v5 with 15 seconds on the A site.
That was huge. The CTs just trying to push. The smoke down on Ivy had an important part to play as well, with players trying to push through it. Their best chance to win the round is before the bomb goes down, and Avangar were able to capitalize on that just about. In the 1v1 with no kit, Jay Millie standing in connector pretty much won the round. Tactical timeout from Avangar. Calming the troops. 3-round advantage, and forZe are on the back foot. We know the sniper rifle will come from FACEIT in a future round. He'll buy 1 flashbang, but beyond that, there won't be much to offer Avangar from forZe in this round. So 11-7. Can Avangar close it out from there? We've seen many a close game today in the CIS minor. Can they find their focus now? It's been a long and surprisingly difficult road for Avangar, but again, momentum just about continuing. 4 MAC-10s in this round.
Watching some envious demos. Quad MAC-10.
Yeah, but the round before they buy, is this a good investment?
Yeah, that's the thing, is you always have to ask the question, could we have the same effect with 1 less MAC-10 and 1 more AK-47? He just sounds like someone who's just really disappointed. It's like, oh.
Kristen farming the kills in this round. They can't all
make up the money for the MAC-10?
Yeah, basically. But they lose absolutely no one. Soli says that they can all buy up together.
Yeah, you got to toss at least 2 of these MAC-10s.
One has been tossed. Or has it? Yeah. Just the one?
That's pretty greedy, I would say. Okay, there we go. That's more acceptable. Yeah, I was gonna say otherwise it's pretty greedy. I would say there's a lot of different dynamics going on. There's a lot of talking points there, but we won't go into it just yet. FACEIT is looking for a push or an alley, and he's going to find so many players. Surely they'll try to trade with the spacing that they have. Malik for supports. Well, we can't stop it, though. He can't stop Buster's angle to punish FACEIT, but it is a 4v3. And
he peeked to pick up the gun before his smoke went off.
Greedy.
Either that happened or he got shot through the smoke, but you did see him jerking forwards before the smoke popped there. That's a problem. forZe being deleted here in round number 19. Deleted. They were rubbed out with an eraser.
It started out really well for them. You know, the initial pick from FACEIT, and then sort of not having perhaps maybe the relevant experience maybe to exit that situation safely. That's something that you see, the top teams that they're very, very good at, doing cheeky plays like that. You have the rifle support with you, and you just, you either re-peek to kill the trader, or you find a way to make it safe to escape. And now they're going to have to go for this big push with the CZs. It's not looking too bad initially. Let's see if they're able to be traded out here. Lots of pushing up the ladder as well from the CTs. And that's basically everyone turning around. Kika, to his surprise, extra powers there. Shot down to 8 though by the last player. Buster, it's not often you see everyone dying here, and wow, finishes it with the flames.
Absolute madness.
I don't think I've ever seen all 9 players die in that area before at that time of the round. That's so strange.
No. Many things we haven't seen before today in the CIS minor. That was very irregular. Both teams on a bye once again, but forZe now at a 6-round deficit, and this is the last map of this series. So if you're a forZe fan, you will start to worry. They will start with 4 players in the A bomb site, but no fast play in that direction from Avangar. Amazer stopped in his tracks by petrol and a lighter and a wet rag.
Grison hears everything. He knows everything. Will forZe be able to get anything from this? They do get forward information, and obviously the other thing that it does, well, okay, exposed from PopDog. But the other thing that it does is, okay, well, never mind. everyone's being removed from that position, so it just kind of doesn't matter anymore. It's in the past. But obviously there are a lot of benefits for the CTs to take that position if you know what to do with it. And it's a 5v2 here for forZe, who are already in a horrible position. This is a horror show for them now, and it could all come crashing down very soon. Avangar about to hit 14 rounds. forZe
have not been able to win a single round in this half. I feel like I've said that a number of times, not necessarily about them, but this week we've seen some pretty lopsided second halves. XC Power being very important for forZe, but he's not been allowed to do much in this half. 14-7. forZe will soon have half the score of their opponent once this bomb detonates.
Oh, nice little flick.
A brief highlight in a disastrous half.
Yeah.
For the CT side, XC Power may hold on, but forZe overall may not be able to hold on to this minor.
No, indeed, it's slipping away through their fingers like grains of sand. The tighter you clench, the more you lose. I don't know, that sounds almost poetic, but then I lost it, James. I was trying to be a poet.
Never to be found again.
Trying to be a poet.
Tactical from forZe. You can see the stress of trying to fight for a position in a major on the faces of some of these players. A quick energy regeneration before the round kicks off. XC Power has an AWP, face crack with a French gun, the rest on pistols, deagles, CZs. Grenades coming out. Now, do they try to take main, for example, with a pop flash? Do they put the, well, never mind that, Avangar may not allow them to do anything, although XC Power is the right place, the right time, takes down the first player. There is a smoke from Jerry, but there will no easy box now. That grenade doesn't, well, she does a fair chunk of damage. He is forced out, but he picks very good timing as the molly goes down. Shoots Dima before he can shoot him. That's a 5 versus 3.
That's pretty big, yeah. It's going to force Avangar's hand to some extent, and Buster, he's found an incredibly big opening onto the site. That's a very nice kill. A player above him, though, once again. Oh, Malik doesn't get the kill. I was going to say, once again, the CT in this position has been very problematic for the Ts. And Malik's just buying some time there. We'll go for the peek, and we'll get fragged out. The bomb's been planted in the meantime, covered by the smoke, and James over the top of said smoke will drop 1, and now he's alone in the 1v2. 4 match points. There's the spot. Repeat can't get around the corner. fully enough to get the shot, and he will be gunned down, and forZe will stay alive in this one for a moment longer.
Finally, forZe will win a round.
Finally. Yeah.
There's plenty of money here for Avangar, so maximum pressure for forZe pretty much for the remainder of this game, I think it's fair to say.
This was sort of the same pacing, right, of winning rounds as Avangar on the first half, because I think they went down, what, 5 or 6 in a row too, before stringing some together. So maybe it'll be the same for forZe. It's Counter-Strike after all, and you're never done until you're done. Almeza looking for the classic peek with the AWP, and there's the classic molly. And very good that it's a delay peek there from the Ts, from Buster, because that is in the meta that the CTs will run into the flames to get the peek. Although there are some even greater details that have been developed on that meta, but enough about that. We'll have to push into the site, and Exapower, he will watch over that B-bomb site.
Smoke down. You can't see them cross now. Got to be careful for middle train, but he will focus on default. The bomb hasn't been committed just yet. They seem to be looking for a rotation, and Jerry isn't far away from that in Pop Dog. Buster gets his bell rung, and FaceCrack knows. He hears the sound. He knows he hit somebody in the head, but still, how did they make the plane to pop? 1 minute mark. They have no more map control of Avangar. James though starting to creep on the high ground, but meanwhile there will be 2 frags in that Pop Dog position. Crizin slowly walking away from main. James not finding anything, and he decides to stop looking. So it seems he will try to entertain these players and leave Crizin to plant the bomb. Crizin can probably expect 2 players to make their way there. But with 20 seconds left, I think it's a safe territory now.
Yeah, I think there's, if you look at this map, I guess every map, but there's a lot of things that you could, a lot of potential learning things to learn from if the demos are being reviewed afterwards for both teams. There for Avangar, for example, they just they had a really good window of time. Like if you're gonna double back into the A side or entertain that idea, you have to be really decisive, because there's a specific window of time where your rotation will be good, and they left it a little bit too long. And then what also was the issue is, because they hadn't really made enough frags at that point, it was pretty low fragging. There was enough CTs to be on Pop Dog, and there's always going to be a CT around Pop Dog. So it seemed like they didn't know what to do when they got to Pop Dog on the rotation back through. So that's like another thing to think about. And if they're able to iron out some of those smaller details, then you've got the workings of some really strong rounds. Because that was really strong. That pulled everyone pretty much, except the Pop Dog guy, of course, towards B. Definitely lots of potential. Full buy for both teams, pretty much, and we'll see Avangar trying to get Jame on an early pick again, denied by the prenates.
4-1 set up once more from the forZe team. The bait set up on Ivy. We'll keep an eye on how long that lasts for. Dima and Jane may go in that direction. Jerry spotting Pop, FaceCrack around main. Crizin in main itself. Keycat looking to pop out as well. So there is control of the Pop Dog position early from Avangar. That was a problem in a previous round, as you remember seeing. Keycat may be tempted to have a look around that smoke grenade, but it could be a trap in disguise. We'll see. Second player now in the Pop, and they'll boost over the top. Will they see Jerry though? The Molotov, maybe he saw some movement, a shadow perhaps. A smoke down in the middle of Ivy. Dima showing presence in the Ivy position. 40 seconds remain.
Yeah, it's a good thing to highlight. Time is definitely an issue. Some good counter grenades coming in to slow them down even further. You can see Demastic desperately wants to get himself, you know, in a position where he can pressure from Ivy to distract the CTs, because when he does that, it'll make his teammates' life so much easier coming through those choke points, but they're still stuck in the choke points. Now there's 20 seconds to go. They've lost 2 members before they can make the move forwards, and you can see that the counter grenades were so effective here for forZe. Chrisen with no time to do this, no bomb, and no friends. Has to go and save, and if you're saving 2 rounds in a row as the T's, definitely something's gone a bit wrong. But yeah, just there's even a bunch of nades left actually on forZe at the end of that round, which is pretty mental. So
Avangar running the clock down, just waiting, and then just guesswork at the end. Doesn't go their way.
It reminds me of old Luminosity, like ages ago, where they would just wait and they wouldn't pressure at all, and then they would just run really late into the round into a bunch of counter grenades and just lose. That was very, very old Luminosity, but they have since improved greatly.
And Avangar have run their economy into the ground. I do wonder if they if the fact that they're 2 rounds away from victory is causing them problems. Are they afraid to use that decisive edge and try and close this out? A reminder, they won 6 rounds in a row on this T side, and now forZe have won the last 3.
"55 seconds. See a rush into the B sites with a lot of grenades, and it will work out time-wise a bit better, but there's a double from Exit Power, and that pretty much shuts everything down. Can't even make it out the choke points. It has all come to a close here for Avangar in this round. forZe now going to be 3 away. And all of a sudden, things don't seem so bad anymore for forZe. And this is very much a mirror of what we saw in the first half for, you know, just you know, each side just swapping roles. Is it an exact mirror? Yeah, it is. It actually is so far. As far as rounds 1. Both teams winning 60 rounds and then just unable.
The other teams figured them out or something. All right, then the Avangar, with a tactical timeout, have bought again at least 4 AKs. Kikert maybe stuck to a CZ75. Right then, are we going to see another agonizingly slow round from the T side?
Yes.
See what they start with. Dima towards Ivy. Avangar spreading towards the B bomb site. Molotov at the back. Almeza on his own towards B. 4 in A. Been common from both these teams on their CT sides. Running past the angle. Maxi Power getting shot from elsewhere. Chrisen has decided he's had quite enough of this nonsense. 2 frags for him on the A site, but nobody else is really there. Jerry still trying to control Pop Dog in the meantime, but Dima's made his way through Ivy. I'm not sure if they realize Exi Power now rotating towards B, and Buster's been picked off by Almeza.
Jay manages to win the... So Jerry went up Pop Dog ladder and just gave a free kill there to James, I believe. And yeah, it seems like a panic on both sides. And we're in a 3v2. And this is what I wanted to see from Avangar. Just wait a little bit. The CTs have so much to cover and few players to do it. Almeza now last man standing with 25 HP. This should surely be the round now for Avangar. They've got an incredible edge to close this one down. Almeza, he can't really do all that much. And saving really is the only thing I think that can be on his mind, or finding a way to do so. Although he will entertain a possibility. Oh, there is an AWP there. But if he does pick up the AWP, his gun will drop, and that's the sound cue, and he's got such low HP.
I think they have money regardless. An AK is always nice, though. And after this round, they'll have to by every round, so he's just going for a hero's play. There is a player above him.
Oh my god.
Dima was there in heaven. He had nothing to lose by going for that. 1 versus 3, why not? Again, they can't buy the AK, but you can buy everything else. Match point now for Avangar. They have more than one opportunity. forZe will take a tactical timeout. The last one they have remaining. They are 4 rounds behind. This is doable for forZe.
Tis quite doable indeed. Auto sniper, just everything. Everything, get out all the guns. Wait, so I wonder what Malik has. I guess he has a rifle.
Nail biting is often a sign of nervousness.
The levels of cortisol in that booth is unprecedented. Cortisol is a stress hormone, for those of you that don't know.
Amaze's picked up the auto sniper. It's been a while since I've seen one of those near connector looking at B, but he will be looking at main from elsewhere. forZe now not getting shy. Exit power doing what he does very well indeed, with the aggressive picks with the AWP. Amaze taken down elsewhere. I'm not sure if he fired a bullet with that auto sniper.
Krizen just getting it out there. That's a really important push from him. Found a really good spot for it. Retreated afterwards. And whenever you get a kill, you have to think, okay, how does this affect the CT rotations? And what you see on the minimap is pretty classic. You know, having a guy in connector and then 2 players in and around the A site somewhere. So this was for the, you know, like 3-1 split, 3A, 1B, with someone who can rotate quickly to B. So B can often be very easy to take, and then if it's late in the round and there's not much counter utility, B becomes a very good option. But you can make A work just as well. And they have a good spread of players as well. We see Ali being pressured as well. So a triple-pronged attack here for Avangar.
"20 seconds. And slowly they get picked apart. Not winning any of the duels. Again, just running down the clock forever and ever.
Yeah.
And then they're just trying to walk in.
Are
they choking?
It's a sad shame because, you know, they create the 4v4, which is really strong, and then they just don't go to the next step. They don't go to the next step. They just, as you say, they just wait. And there is power for waiting about, you know, 10 to 20 seconds. That's fine. That, you know, causes the CTs to then not know what you're doing. But if you wait longer than that, now you're starting to, like, what are you trying to accomplish? So, unfortunate. As you say, maybe it is a bit of the nerves coming into play, the psychology of being a competitor.
I feel like these super slow rounds are not working at all.
No.
The round they won recently was Krizen going in and getting a 2K. That's the only round they've won, and they can't... it's almost like they feel like they're back to the wall. Okay, let's try this, and then, oh, we won a round. Let's go back to what we were doing before, where we weren't winning rounds.
Yeah, and the other round as well, with the previous one where they got an advantage, was because Krizen ran out again and got a kill. So...
well, they will charge with the pistols, and they've made things awkward on the A bomb site, but they haven't taken the bomb with them. So at this point, do they try to win by elimination? They know where one of these 2 players are. They're still not going for the bomb, so it seems they may just win with pistols by elimination. But where is Armeza? Throwing guns all over the shop, and they're going back for the bomb. And you will wonder what in the blazes is going on. Is this how Avangar win? With only the pistols, they basically have no fear. It seems the fear is holding them back. And yes, it will be with a mere pistol buy that Avangar have the guts to really to take the match over the line.
That's it, isn't it? It's the CZ effect, the pistol effect, the Tech-9 effect. Just, well, got nothing to lose. It's like when you pick up a Mac-10. It's like, well, no one will care if I die. It's a very weird series of Counter-Strike, I have to say. both teams making a lot of errors here or there. You know, one team like seemingly getting a string of rounds, and then the next a string of rounds, and it seems inexplicable because of the way that they trade mistakes and are either able or unable to capitalize on them. So a lot going on there. But eventually there was a winner, and that was the Avangar.
One pack, but we are not the therapist. I feel like there is a significant mental block with that team. It's almost like once they're in a position to win, they play not to lose, and then they're not going to win by playing not to lose, right? So that is something that they really need to talk to the coach about and sort out, because they kind of just shut down. Yeah,
it did look like that. It looked like very quiet. Everyone shut down. There's only Krizen who was like willing to go out there and make confident bold plays. And it's not that you're making confident bold plays because it's a risky pug play. No, you need someone who can do that. That's part of got to take the risks.
It almost feels like they're afraid to play the way they should play at the end. If you, I don't know, but that's something. I mean, congratulations to them moving forward, but there is more. There's more gaming to play. Over to Freya, who's down on the floor with the teams.
Thank you, James. Yes, I'm here with the winning side of Vanguard with Kickert, of all people. So going back to Mirage, which was your map pick, you guys actually managed to lose out to the opposition. What went so wrong for you guys here?
I don't know. Something just happened. Nothing was going good, and something went wrong.
They were ready for all our moves, because we played with them a lot before. And they adapted for us.
So do you feel like they counteracted you quite well?
Yes, I think we played Mirage with them 10 times or more. I think they are prepared very well.
Yeah, they also prepared before.
So you guys then went into Inferno, which was their map pick. How did you guys manage to pull that back out of the bag?
We trained it as well. So.
About next month?
About Inferno, yes.
About Inferno. Inferno was, we know that now or never. And I think experience helped to us, because we playing together a lot, and we know that we can win every game without any start.
So they actually managed to beat you earlier on Inferno. Do you feel like that kind of gave you a bit of an upper hand because you were able to counteract them?
We talked a bit about how to play against them, but I think we just hit at our shots and aim was very well for us, and luck was on our side.
Yeah, because Krizen actually played really well. He was super aggressive there. How does he fit in with the team?
He is our anti-fragger, our star player, so he's just doing his work.
So Train looks like it was going to go the way of the opposition there, but you guys managed to pull it back. It was quite back and forth at the end. What did you guys refocus on?
Start was very bad on Train, and after 6-0 we starting winning rounds, and I think we a bit, how to say, they become stressful when we start to come back. But main round, I think, when we won 2 versus 5, and it was very important, because if we lost, it will be very tough game.
So you guys are now going to face Hellraisers tomorrow, if I'm not wrong. How are you guys going to be preparing for this, and what are you going to focus on going into this?
I think we will prepare, watch the demos, watch how they play. I think we will play our game. It's Hellraisers. It's another team for us.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans at home, just briefly, before we go back to the analyst desk?
Just hi for them.
Hi everyone. Привет всем, парни. Была тяжелая игра, болейте за нас. Кто там смотрит?
Anything? Thank you guys, and congratulations once again on the win. We're going to head back over to the desk.
Thank you, Freya, Dastan and Kicker. We've seen that old Counter-Strike chestnut once again, where each team wins the other's pick. And then it was all decided on a final map, Train. There's quite a bit that we can touch upon. Maniac, would you like to start us off?
Sure. I mean,
maybe.
I can't really say no, right? I gotta have to.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think Mirage was a very good start for forZe, even considering that Avangar actually took off the beginning of the map with, like, I think 5-2 lead or something. But we're gonna talk about it later. forZe kind of found a way to come back and finally close a very convincing CT half, I think. Yeah, and then on the T side, some kind of exotic buy leading into a very early lead.
Yeah, that actually pretty much set the tone for the entirety of the second half. They did something you don't really see too much of in lower tier teams. You often do it when you have, you know, a guy like named Simple or Nico on your team. So they actually lost the second half pistol, bought up an AK, let Leak get full head kev, and all that good jazz, and basically just like building up with, you know, supported nades and whatnot around him. As we see the stats from the final now, Chris and Kicker really having a solid
impact.
outing there. Yeah, Kicker especially was nice to see because he was kind of laying low for the better part of the first 2 maps. So good to see him getting into it. But yeah, that second half from Mirage, that was a nice little I wouldn't say trick or gimmick by forZe, but it definitely messed with the economy enough on the side of Avangar, because they ended up in a situation where that one AK buy over towards the B bomb site didn't win them in the round, but they got 4 kills, which leaves and the bomb plan as well. So that leaves the CT side with either not a lot of utility or not that great of weaponry, while on the side of forZe you get full AK buy. You don't have too much utility, but again, you have so much more firepower to your disposal that they can actually be able to do something with it, and that's really what just gave them enough space to really close out the map. So that was a very impressive showing from them.
Yeah, to an extent, right, but we can't maybe give them too much props, because we did maybe expect more from them throughout the this stage of the tournament, and we've seen that these victories, at least in these 2 best-of-3s, have been a bit scrappy at times, and there have been mistakes, don't you think?
Yeah, no, I would definitely say that Avangar have not, like, yeah, they come out with a victory here, but it hasn't been impressive by any means, and it's been fairly, like, I guess, dominant results in that sense. It was 16-8, 16-7, and obviously they close out Train 16-12. Yeah. So it's like, it's comfortable margins, but it hasn't been impressive by any means, because they have these lapses, you know, mid-game that just leaves you really worried, especially going up against a team like Hellraisers. You can't do that. Hellraisers just going to walk all over you if you continue on that same trend.
If we go back to the interview quickly, Freya, when she asked, I can't remember the specific question, but Destan replied when they were going through some troubles on the final map at the start on Train, that they did start feeling stressed, and if it wasn't for a certain clutch where they were actually on a disadvantage, that they could have snowballed the wrong way from there and lost the entire map. And is that not slightly worrying that they are saying that they're feeling that stress and that pressure?
That's very worrying, especially when it comes to that kind of a situation as well. They were up against an eco, nearly botched that completely, as you said. 2v5, I think it was Krisen and Demasic to bail them out from that situation. But it's also, you know, it's their own fault for putting themselves in that situation, because the way they approach their anti-ecos isn't necessarily that great. We see them actually a lot of times on Train throughout their T side not doing a whole good a job of actually utilizing utility. We never really saw any sort of set strats from them, and it's not a requirement to have set strats or use them you know, every single round, but you do want to see them that you can actually smoke off all the lanes in a proper manner, and I actually think forZe did a better job of that for the better part of their T side than what we saw out of Avangar. Avangar got carried through by individual skill more often than not.
Maniac, let's jump in with the first specific instance case study from the match. It was on Mirage, and there was something going on with the AWPs, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I think on the CT side for forZe, the AWPs really made the difference, because as I said earlier, Avangar went up to, I think, 5-2 lead. So they were really in a good mood. They had the economical advantage. But finally, when forZe could put together enough money to roll with the double AWPs, that's when the first kill started to happen, and suddenly you're going to see that the dynamic of the game completely shifted. forZe took control over the half. They finished, I think, 9-6. And it was interesting in the interview. They said they played each other against a lot, and I was wondering, like, maybe the AWPs kind of had like an implicit knowledge of when to get the picks, knowing the timings, knowing how they know, for example, how to take middle or where the first kills are gonna be. And in that scenario, I think the AWPs made a huge difference for forZe on Mirage.
And you also mentioned just before we got going with this segment that there was an unconventional buy by forZe to win the entire map, right?
Yeah, to start off the second half, yeah.
Oh, yes,
yeah, absolutely.
to start off the second
and in many ways, it got them
half.
on such an easy track that it did really do a lot for them in terms of closing it out. Because we've seen that actually multiple times we saw it on Train as well. Avangar don't really play that well without money on their side. Like, when they have to do these kind of wonky half buys, we've seen a couple of times where James is in a position where you can buy an AWP, and he'll do that, and they'll just like have a Deagle here, ZZ, a couple of nades, like not the greatest of buys, but they'll go into it, but they don't necessarily get too much out of it. Like, it's obviously typical that they win the entire last map on a pistol round, but you know, over the course of the entire best of 3 series, I don't really think they can justify making those kind of buys too often. And I think if they get shook economically like they did on Mirage, that could spell a lot of issues for them.
You did also mention, both of you, when it came to Train and the CTs are fully equipped, just in general terms of meta, sometimes you have to look quite outside the box to break through the solid defenses that they've built up through their economy, and so maybe that was showing a bit earlier on in the best of 3 as well. Now, Maniac, we have a second example that you'd like to bring up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we are talking about Inferno, and that was, for me at least, a very good sign, a very positive sign for Avangar in this best of 3 compared to what happened in the event. They had their best CT side on Inferno that they had above all the event. And what I really liked about it is that they finally decided to take control of Banana. They didn't play as passive as they used to in the other matches, for which we criticized them. So they actually went for it, even though you could see here they're going to lose the first trade. But what happens is, because they have the very early information, that gives time for a third CT to actually rotate through city base. And it's just way easier to play a CT when you have early information. You could see the T's think they have it in the bag, but D-Masic is actually already in position. He's an A player, but he's already there. Why? Because they have early information. They know what's happening and they can rotate accordingly. And for me, that was the biggest difference compared to the other maps they played during the event.
Yeah, and I could tell Maniac was getting pretty worried there as we started off Inferno as well, because they were starting off the game with just having Buster as a sole B defender quite a lot. They were just banking, again, with no information whatsoever, just blind gambles with 4-man stacks over towards A, but luckily they got things on the wrap.
That made me feel really good.
Yeah.
I was very happy.
Good. Glad you were happy, Maniac. Let's see now what's happened with Group B over the course of today. Started off with Avangar losing to forZe in a best of 1. Spirit beat Monolith, and then they played against each other, 2 winners. Spirit moving forwards with the highest seeding qualification. Avangar in the losers bracket had to best Monolith, and then, as we've just seen, best forZe as well, meaning those are the 2 from Group B that will head on into our final brackets, and it's Hellraisers and Prosto from Group A. And Hellraisers will play against Avangar, and Team Spirit will play against Prosto. There's not only qualification on the line, money as well, and so there is a lot up to grabs and to play for, as well as just pride and dignity.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm kind of happy to see that when we've gone through the initial bracket stages, that we do end up with the 4 assumed favorites, I guess, from each group. So that should make for a really exciting final bracket.
I think it will, and we'll have to check in tomorrow with exactly how it's all going to pan out. Matthew, would you like to add anything else about these final 4 that we have from the CIS region?
I kind of agree with Vendetta. I think we have who we thought we would have in the playoffs, and I'm also very interested to see how the play styles and the confidence will change, because it's a different thing being a playoff. I'm going to take just the Avangar example. They're going to go against Hellraisers, which is a really good team, a really tough enemy to play against. But the pressure is going to be on the other side. Now they're kind of going there underdog. That was not the case in the group stage. They kind of had to qualify. So the dynamics are very different when you reach the playoff. And I'm really looking forward to see if there's any differences in the team in how they play a group stage compared to playoffs.
All right, well, thank you very much, Vendetta and Maniac, as always. We are done with the CIS Minor for today, but we'll be back with those final matches from 9:15 tomorrow morning. But today, you still have a lot more action to come, because the Americas finals are about to take place. Don't go anywhere and enjoy the rest of the show.